Mr. Heavyweight Boxing Today.
Hey, what's up, man? This is Chris the Nightmare Ariola, and you're watching Mr. Boxing Today on YouTube.
Heavyweight boxing fans, what's the deal? Alright, so promoter Eddie Hearn did an interview with Sky Sports, and he says Tony Bellew versus David Haye, very likely. That rematch is very likely, says Hearn. Alright, let me read what he had to say, and I'm going to give my quick opinion about this. He says, I think the three options for Tony Bellew are Joseph Parker, David Haye, and Deontay Wilder. We'll be in meetings over the next few weeks with all those teams. For me, the biggest money fight out there, and the fight that the public seem to want the most, is the David Haye rematch. It doesn't bring the world heavyweight title with it, which is of course a carrot in the other two options, but if Tony can beat David again, which I believe he can fight for the world heavyweight title after that anyways, okay? There's a lot of things in the first deal that Tony was not happy with, and now he wants to respect in the next deal of some of those things. Providing he feels he's been given that, and he should be given that, because he won the fight. Then I think Haye rematch is the most likely fight for Tony Bellew. But again, a long way to go. Tony does want to fight for the World Heavyweight Championship, but he also wants to give the public what they want. They have put him in that position, and I think a lot of people would like to see Bellew Haye too. All right. If it was up to me as a fan, I would like to see the rematch instead of seeing Tony Bellew fight Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder. First, because I'm just not sure how realistic that is right now. When you listen to Parker and his team, they're talking about him returning to fight in September. That's when the Huey Fury fight is supposed to take place in September. When I listen to Tony Bellew speak, he's talking about November, December, and also heard David Haye, who is doing a really good job of recovering from that Achilles injury that he suffered. At least looking at his Instagram account, his Achilles seems to be okay right now. David Haye is talking about coming back around November, December. You know, then when you talk to Deontay, when you hear Deontay Wilder or his mandatory, when I listen to Hearn's talking about fighting in September at the latest. So I just think those guys are going to have fights. That's number one. Number two, I still think there's some unfinished business there between David Haye and Tony Bellew. Yes, Bellew did win the fight. It's not his fault that his opponent Achilles ruptured. That's not his problem. You know, he's in there to fight and win the fight. But at the same time, it was a closely fought fight, and people just want to see how that fight will go down had that not happened to his Achilles. All right. And another thing is, you know, if he were to fight Parker or David Haye, I know there's some fans out there, some Tony Bellew fans that believe that he can beat those guys, okay? But I think it's a small percent of you guys that believe that, which is fine, you know. But at the same time, though, if Tony Bellew or Deontay Wilder, especially Deontay Wilder, or not Tony Bellew, but if Joseph Parker, and Deontay Wilder were to beat Tony Bellew, everybody's going to say that they just beat a cruiserweight. And no disrespect to Tony Bellew, he is the, he did win a cruiserweight title. He beat Makabu. It was a good fight. And he beat BJ Flores. But to be honest with you, I'm not sure Tony Bellew is even the best cruiserweight. To be honest, I think probably Usyk might be. Maybe it's Marius Briedis. Who really knows? You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure how Bellew does in those fights. And if Wilder or Parker were to beat him, people would just say, hey, he beat a light heavyweight, a blown-up light heavyweight. He beat a cruiserweight. That's all they're going to say, man. So why even go through that? If anybody's getting a chance from the UK that's not named, Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury, it should be Dillian White. If anybody's going to get the fight from the UK at heavyweight to fight Joseph Parker or Deontay Wilder, I would prefer it be Dillian White, So, but then, if you want to go tit for tat for this, we can say, well, why, Dillian White's best win is Derek Chisora, and Tony Bellew's best win is David Haye, and David Haye beat Derek Chisora. We can do that whole thing, but at least Dillian White is a true heavyweight, and I think he stands a better chance of beating Joseph Parker and Deontay Wilder, better chance than Tony Bellew, in my opinion. I think Dillian White, if you put him in the ring with Tony Bellew, I think Dillian White wins that fight, Now, this is all guesswork, but I just think Dillian White is the better heavyweight than Tony Bellew. Some of you guys may think Tony Bellew's the better fighter. That's cool, but Now, if Bellew does beat David Haye again, then I don't think that automatically means you deserve a title shot. That's just not how I see it. Now, technically, David Haye, if you guys remember, was going to be the mandatory for the winner of Joseph Parker and Andrew Reeves Jr. when they fought for the vacant WBO strap. So I can see the argument for it being that David Haye, he had a title shot, man, and he passed it up and he wanted to take the money and fight Tony Bellew. So, but that's off the table now. That was on the table months ago. Now that's off the table when he decided to fight Bellew. So, I can see Bellew beating Haye, but I think he should have to beat another heavyweight, man, to really get, in line for a title shot. I think him and Dillian White would be a good fight for a title shot. But then plus Dillian White is rated, I believe, in the top 10 of all the 4 sanctioned bodies, if I'm not mistaken. I know at least 3 of them, right? So I'll way rather see Dillian White get a title shot at the heavyweight title before Tony Bellew. But this is the fight I think makes the most sense, the rematch between Bellew and Haye. Seems like there's, like I said, some little bit of unfinished business there. But you guys let me know what you think in the comments section. Do you guys want to see Tony Bellew versus David Haye rematch? And plus, David Haye's been talking about it too. I've seen him say that he would like the rematch. Would you guys want to see Tony Bellew in a rematch with Haye, or do you want to see him fight for the heavyweight title, whether it's Joseph Parker or Deontay Wilder? Let me know what you think in the comments section. I'm out.